Second season finale, we saw a lot of changes for a lot of families. Do you think going forward in season 3 that Joel and Julia should have another child?
I think the main factor in that is that they want one.
Right.
So yes, I think they should have another child. It looks like they're going to adopt, which can be quite a process.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Right.
And I know a lot of families that have adopted, and I think it's beautiful, and so I'm all for it.
Do you think that your daughter might have some problems with a new sibling?
Yes. I think that's very insightful of you to ask. She is a very strong-willed little thing, and she's used to getting all of the attention.
Right.
Ultimately, I think it'll be a good thing for her in that way to not be so spoiled, for lack of a better word.
She reminds me of me, so
Really?
yeah, the only child, I always say what I'm thinking, and I'm very precocious.
And those are very good qualities. You want someone who can stand their ground and say what they think, and stand for what they believe in.
But she's 7, so.
But she's 7. She also needs to learn, as does Julia. She needs to learn that compromise isn't failure.
Mm-hmm.
They both have a ways to go on learning that.
So when you're working with Savannah, is there anything that she does that completely throws you? Because I know you guys ad-lib a lot on set, and it seems like she holds her own very well.
Occasionally she does completely throw us. Occasionally there's something that fully comes out of left field, a new line that we're like, oh, what? Okay, good. That's what happens, though,
Yeah, that's just happening.
That's what actors do, and that's what kids do.
Right.
So, it's pretty awesome.
And do you anticipate there being any animosity because your sister-in-law, or she just gets pregnant and, Julia's been trying and...
I don't know if animosity... yeah, there's got to be some kind of...
It's alright. Hold for sound, right?
Yeah, holding for sound. Hi, Mom. Thanks. So do you. I got my wig on. Hold my weed. I think that it's heartbreaking to me to just think about Julia having tried so hard and then Christina just getting pregnant.
Right.
We'll see how they deal with that. That's actually one of the most exciting things to me, is seeing how the writers deal with that one.
So you don't hope that they jump forward in time to have the baby already on the show when you come back?
Well, I hope that however they do it, whether they jump forward or if they kind of pick it up right where they left off, I hope that there's an opportunity to explore that moment between Christina and Julia.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know. I think that's inevitable. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And is there anybody in the cast that you would love to work with more? Because you have such a big cast, and you're split a lot of times.
Yeah. I would love to work with Monica Potter more.
Okay.
I would love to work with Craig T. Nelson more, because Craig T. is the man. I would love to work with Dax more, and I would love to work with Max more.
Right.
Because, as I've been saying to the writers, I think it's really interesting that Max is a personality that forces you to compromise.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. There's no way around it. And I think that would be really interesting for Julia, because they're both such strong-willed people.
Yeah. Going forward, what do you hope to see happen for the family?
Well, I hope that Adam and Christina have their child. I hope that Adam gets a job.
Of course.
I hope that Addie doesn't get pregnant.
Of course.
I hope that Sarah's playwriting career continues to flourish. I also hope that there's plenty of conflict for us to deal with in this season. One of my favorite episodes in the very first season was when Craig T. Nelson's character, my father Zeke, in the show, divulges to me that he's bought a piece of property and it's not going well and he's going to lose it. I love that episode, and that kind of cold hard reality that we sometimes show on the program is something that I think we do particularly well, and you don't get to see too much on network television, and that's because of Jason Katims, who's standing right there. That's what's great on this show, is I get to get my Dick Van Dyke on and do funny dance sequences and do funny things, but then I also get to dramatic things. And I don't think I've ever been on a show where it's been that well balanced in terms of the drama and the comedy.
Right.
And those, of course, are the two masks of the theater: the mask of comedy and the mask of tragedy. So I think those are both adequately represented on the show Parenthood.
What are you thinking for season 3? Are you thinking this is going to end up being a very happy moment for the family?
I think that I do. I think it's going to be happy, but it's also going to be very challenging. It's going to be, this whole world of dealing with Max and his Asperger's syndrome and Hattie and whatever she's going to be doing, and also bringing this new baby into the world. And, that was one of the questions I had for Jason was, we've been so worried about Max and taking care of him and coddling him. This baby is going to add a whole brand new dynamic, and the fact that the baby wasn't planned,
right,
it'll be even more interesting. But that's life, that's part of life, and I know how that works very well. What
is one of your favorite type of scenes to shoot for Parenthood? Because you guys do the drama, but you also have these great comedic scenes. I don't even know if I want to say comedy, but they just feel very real. Like you guys' banter.
Where Peter and I are together and we're sort of thinking through a problem, because it's very rare that you get to work with an actor where you start a thought and they actually say the thought and you finish their sentence, and that comes from luck. Because it's a lot of it's written like that, but some of it is not, and we're very lucky to be able to have that camaraderie. It's very rare.
One of the things I love is when the women get together and they just...
I want to do more of that. Like, there were a couple scenes last season where I'm trying on clothes and they're making fun of me. Like, that stuff to me is so much fun to do.
Well, what I was going to ask was, do you anticipate there being maybe a bit of an issue between Christina and Julia, because Julia's been trying to get pregnant for so long?
I think so. When I first read it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem, or this will be, but see, Christina and Julia are so close. I think we'll see. I think it'll probably be an issue, but
they'll squash it pretty fast.
Christina being Christina and Julia being Julia, I think they'll squash it pretty fast.
What would you think is the most challenging aspect of Parenthood this past season?
Challenging aspect of Parenthood, probably really playing the Asperger's part of it, thinking of how Max would react in different situations with different people around and different things around.
Right. So what kind of research have you done recently to help you with that?
Well, a lot of times I go online and I look up organizations that help people who have the syndrome and the families of those people, and I just see what they kind of try and help, stuff like that. And also, every couple of episodes, I get together with the director of those episodes and the Asperger's doctor and the executive producer, and we sort of talk about Max and how he would react in certain situations.
Nice. So you guys seem to do a lot of ad-libbing on the set. Who do you think is the most challenging cast member to go up against in terms of they throw something at you that you're not expecting?
Well, everyone does that, really. So it's I do it too. So it's really not that difficult to sort of maneuver around all that.
Okay. What are you hoping to get to do in season 3 that maybe you haven't done yet?
Portraying Max around like a little baby.
Nice.
Because he's going to have a little baby sibling.
Yeah, I was going to say you might get that chance. One of the things that I love about Parenthood that I think makes it different is the banter between the parents and the kids.
Right.
Does Savannah ever say anything that like completely throws you in like an ad lib or?
Yeah, Savannah always says something completely new and bizarre that'll throw us. It's I say it's kind of like working with a method actor or a drunk working with a 7-year-old kid, because you never know what you're going to get, and she's just it just keeps us constantly on our toes, and we love her dearly, and she's a great little actress at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it looks like there might be some big changes coming to the various families. If you could pick what you want to happen for Joel next season, do you think another baby is the right way to go?
Yeah. I think Joel and Julia, what we learned this year is that they're capable of handling it, and though it's never easy, we got one kid in our home right now, and even that just seems overwhelming. I think about people with twins, and I just think, how is that possible? Like, how do you travel? How do you do anything? So, but I think they're capable, and I think at the heart of their relationship that they deeply love each other, and that can get through a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what when you heard that you guys were getting the season 3? I mean, it'd been a little while since you wrapped. Were you prepared for that news? Like, what was your initial response?
we had a good feeling that we were going to get picked up, but it's never a clear shot, and stranger things have happened to great shows. So it's just a big sigh of relief, I was saying to Erika at the end of shooting that we were kind of sitting there in one of our more serious moments in the scene, and I said, "You realize this could be our last day as Joel and Julia," and we were kind of nostalgic about it. I felt like there was a lot more to be told about not only our story but all the stories on the show. So the fact that we get to share, some more, and we get to find out more,
right,
because we're fans of the show as well. To find out more about it is pretty exciting for us.
And is there anybody on the show that you don't get to work with that often that you hope to work with more?
I thought you were going to say, is there anybody on the show you don't like to work with?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, if you want to tell me that story.
I'll say it. Erika Christensen. I'll start with that one.
So clearly Joel and Julia will get divorced next year.
It's all on, the only likable moments between us end up on the screen.
Right.
But, I love working with Craig T. Nelson. That guy just has so much history behind every line, and but the great thing is there's so many actors on our show that we can get into season 5 and still not have certain scenes between 2 characters. So I just look forward to working with all of them. So,
awesome.
seeing what happens. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. It's nice to meet you.